First of all, congratulations for going for interview. How
Thank you, sir.
many attempts you have given till now?
Sir, 6 I have given, and this will be my first interview.
First interview. What is your optional?
The sociology.
Sociology. Have you changed it, or for all the attempts you have tried
Sir,
with
it was,
sociology only?
sir, this was my first means, so I have written with socio only.
Okay, so good. So let's begin with your personal details. Like you are from agriculture background.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly is present day agricultural scenario in Madhya Pradesh?
Sir, Madhya Pradesh is basically a rural agriculture based economy where industries and service sector does not hold much importance as compared to the primary agriculture sector, and especially coming from the Bundelkhand region. So, sir, my area is around 46% of the population is directly deriving employment from agriculture sector. And my father and mother being associated from agriculture, I have seen that the potential of agriculture and also the severability of agriculture because of the climatic changes, the droughts and the flood issues. So, sir, if everything taken into consideration, it can be a gainful employment, but with with the precautions of climate change and other, it is hampering the growth.
Hmm. Do you think there is a change in the past 20 years or 30 years in the whole scenario in the country, at least in Madhya Pradesh?
Yes, sir. Because the tenure 20 and 30 years is a long period. So especially, sir, youth like us who has taken degrees in agriculture universities and in general practical day knowledge, and with the advancement of technology, sir, new streams like horticulture, mixed farming, and integrated farming has come into picture, which is in sync with the thought of Ashok Dalwai sir to double the farmers' income by 2022. But this has not been achievable as of now. But other things being considered, even the agri export is growing at a faster pace. The horticulture, India is the second largest exporter of vegetables and fruits. Sir, in terms of food grain production, also from the 1960s, we have come a long way where we used to import food from US by PEL 480 scheme. Now we are a net exporter of wheat, rice, and other agriculture goods. Also, sir, at the WTO level, India has been able to put its voice for the agreement on agriculture and the peace clause, where India is able to extend the subsidy and other green box subsidies to its farmer to sustain and support the farmers. Along with the sir, forward and backward linkages, good government initiatives like e-NAMs and agri marts and the connectivity with the internet in terms of drone mapping, in terms of Swamitra scheme. So, sir, I see a bright future for the agriculture sector.
Okay, these are all things which are at a broader level. Actually, are you practicing? Could you see any changes, whatever you have spoken till now, in your personal area or in your fields particularly?
Mm. Sir, particularly, I have been able to see more of mixed farming, where people are using or adopting the alternative income generation methods. Also, sir, I have also been seeing the sustainable climate practices such as mulching, such as sprinkle irrigation and drip irrigation, the fertigation technology, so the nano urea technology, which has been recently discovered by IFCO. So, sir, I'm seeing more of this in my area because there is the issue of water stress in Bundelkhand region. So, sustainable practices are being followed.
What is the language you speak?
Sir, I speak Hindi and English.
What about the regional variation of Hindi, that is Bundeli?
A little bit, sir, I can speak. Bundelkhandi.
You're basically you're from Bundelkhand region,
Yes, sir.
but little bit. Why so?
Sir, I can speak because, sir, after 2004, so I migrated from my native place to Bhopal. And in Bhopal, sir, the local language is either Hindi or English.
Hmm.
And that's why I have been speaking in Bundelkhandi with my family. So I know the tone and everything comes, but then I'll have to like be in the thing zone.
Okay. Okay. So your university is Barkatullah University.
Yes, sir.
Who is Barkatullah?
Uh, Sir, may I take a guess?
Yeah.
Sir, Barkatullah, sir, in my faintest memory, I can remember him that he was a national leader during the freedom struggle. So he also belonged from the royal dynasty family, and during the freedom struggle, he contributed in terms of monetary value and financial aid to these national leaders. He has also contributed towards the education development of the region, and so this much I can recall. I have to read more about him.
You have to read. What you have spoke about Barkatullah is all general things. If you replace the name Barkatullah with some other name also, any freedom fighter will have most of the things except for the royal background. Am I right?
Yes,
So
sir.
he was the prime minister of the provincial government established from Kabul in 1915, Raja
Yes, sir.
Mahendra
Yes, sir.
Pratap's. So
Yes,
he
sir.
has a very important role in 1915 movement itself. In 1915 itself, he was in the forefront. That is Barkatullah.
Thank you, sir, for this knowledge. I'll
Yeah,
read more about it.
yeah. Then coming about your hobbies. What are your hobbies you have mentioned? One is football, sorry, basketball.
Yes, sir.
Um, Tell me
Sir,
something
in
about your
sports,
achievements in basketball.
uh, sir, I have been a keen sports enthusiast from the very beginning. So initially, when I was in seventh and eighth grade, I was in uh, running and athletics. So the stamina induced me and like motivated to towards a team game, because athletics was a individual sport. So when in the school, when I was introduced to basketball by my teachers, sports teachers, so the team spirit and the stamina and the coordination motivated me to start learning basketball. So I started playing basketball from my school level, and then inter school competitions, because I was also the sports minister of my school. So I represented my basketball team at the inter-school competition. So after joining the colleges, I continued playing basketball. So we had the BSS Cup, because my college name is the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. So the BSS college organized the inter tournament, and we called different commerce graduate students from different colleges. Then also I played for the university level at BU Nodals, inter Nodals. So,
Okay. So at the same time, your commerce background. Do you
yes,
see most of the very, very few students are from commerce background getting success in civil services? So how your academic degree, that is commerce, is useful in your civil services preparation?
oh, sir, commerce is a field which tells you about uh, the one thing that brought me towards commerce was the practicality of the subject. Sir, it tells about more about the general life challenges like financial literacy, which I think is still lacking in India. So at the very beginning, financial literacy is being taught to us. Then financial recording and record keeping, accountability, the basic fundamental value of any bureaucrat. uh, Also, sir, tallying and also management of your finances, fiscal consolidation. Uh, Along with this, sir, a little bit knowledge of the income tax and other corporate taxes were taught in the commerce field. So all these fields, along with economics, so the practicality of the subject, along with the theoretical aspect, were put together in such a synchronous manner that I was it developed my personality in that it terms. so I could use this financial knowledge when I'll be working as a public servant in any field, where I can manage the finances and I can allocate the resources wisely and judicially.
Have you ever thought of going to CA or ICWA streams? Because you are from commerce background and you are studious.
Uh, sir, I no, not really, because civil services was my calling from college days. So even though I really respect the chartered accountancy and the hard work the student put into become a chartered accountant, it is really a difficult exam. But my calling was towards civil services.
Then you could have taken something which BA arts, other subjects. It would have helped you more in your civil services. If your dream was civil services from the beginning, going to commerce, I don't say wastage of time, but you could have more focused on other subjects too.
Yes. Sir, about that, after my when I was in my after my 10th standard, so my school was offering only two options during our time. That one was PC and PCB, and the other was commerce. So in my 11th and 12th, I opted commerce, and then when I was appearing in the college, so I wanted to pursue it as my plan B. Like I could work in management or I could go in the financial sector companies, financial analyst. So I thought that this subject will give me some financial security if I fail or if I don't want to pursue civil services after a point of time.
So you have really struggled a hard, like this is a sixth attempt.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any time fatigue or thought of quitting this and taking up something which will lead to more better livelihood?
Sir, so sorry. Sir, actually, uh, so my calling and also my together my family's dream was civil services. We always because I always used to talk about serving the society and like in public service delivery, in policy making, policy implementation. So the internal motivation was also always ignited. At times, I did feel uh, that I have to stand on my own and I want to be financially independent. So, sir, when that motivation was becoming a little low because of the financial dependency on my family, I started working and I started taking home tuitions, and I also associated with some coaching institutions for evaluation and other purposes, some content writing. So the motivation which was letting me rethink or doubt myself was sorted, and I was again back on my foot and started preparing with full zeal.
Good. In your DAF, I have seen your papers on MSME sector.
Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate more on MSME sector and its importance in India?
Okay, sir. Sir, MSME sector is the new sunrise sector in terms of rural unicorns, especially for the women empowerment sector, because sir, around 45%, it contributes around 45% to the employment and around 40% to the export from India, and roughly around 50% in terms of GDP in the manufacturing industrial sector. So, sir, it has a great potential, and the big advantage it caters is that little investment can give more outputs in comparison to the industrial or the manufacturing sector. Also, sir, because it is a employment giver sector, and also with little innovation, they can create big outputs and quick outputs. For example, the Chandrayaan 2 were taking some of the parts from the MSME sector, and the recent schemes such as Samadhan and Udyam Portal has encouraged this MSME sector to work on their full potential and being the top notch export competitive at the global level. So I see a very huge potential in the MSME sector, considering the fact that the manufacturing sector has been stagnant since quite some time in India.
You talked about some of the MSME sector, these things contributing to Chandrayaan. Can you give
Yes, sir.
examples?
Sir, I cannot recall right now. I'll read about it.
Those MSMEs
Sir,
are from Hyderabad.
okay.
Mm.
Thank you, sir, for this knowledge.
Recently, there is another one like Skyroot is another new unicorn, new startup
Okay.
actually, which is eyeing for this space technology.
Okay.
Skyroot from Hyderabad. Mm.
Okay, sir. I'll read about this.
Then actually you're talking about MSME sector. Whatever you have talked is basics. But really, what exactly is happening in India? See, Japan has 95% of the MSME contribution towards the industrial development.
Hmm.
95% in Japan. But what about India? It's so meager. And why this state?
Sir, some of the reason that I can think of is because the MSME sector is still unorganized. Because around 90% of the workforce comes from the unorganized sector. So, therefore, they lack the skill and the technical know how to upgrade their system. Also, sir, the technological advancement in our country, because of the low R&D level, around 0.7% of our GDP, which is relatively lower than other countries such as Japan and South Korea, where the R&D spent on such sectors is much more. Also, sir, the investment, the priority of investment that goes in the sector does not is skewed according to me, because bringing investment from other countries in form of FDI and FIIs, also the statistics and the financial records are being seen by such countries. The meager condition of the MSME in India does not really projects them, or does not really attract them to make an investment in such sectors. So, sir, a thorough collaborative approach of two, three things such as R&D, innovation, investment, technological, how skilling and formalization of the workforce and administrative setup should be there for India to compete with countries like Japan.
What are the initiatives of the central government about skilling? Do you know any of them? And what is the success rate? Did we achieve what we have dreamt?
So some of the scheme that I can think of is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Then other is the Skill India Mission, and some of the other skills at the other ministries level is Nai Manzil scheme, Nai Roshni scheme, uh, Sikho or Kamao scheme from the Ministry of Minority Affairs, Uts, Uts, Ustad scheme. Sir, I can recall all these schemes, but the success rate and exact figure is a tough for me to guess.
What is Vishwakarma recently launched scheme?
So Vishwakarma scheme is also with respect to MSME only. It is catering to the weavers and other communities. They are going to provide skill to these communities, and it will be catering in the MSME sector.
Why it is named as Vishwakarma?
Uh, so to my faint memory, Vishwakarma ji was also
Mm.
a weaver,
Yeah,
and
yes, don't worry.
so he was a weaver and used to innovate and used to create certain things which were of value at that time.
Vishwakarma ji. Vishwakarma is not a weaver. He is the creator of all the trades according to Indian mythology.
Okay, sir. So
Okay.
sorry, sir.
Vishwakarma is the builder, is innovator, metallurgist. That is a mythological figure in Indian
Okay,
history, in Indian religion.
okay, sir.
Okay. That is how
Okay,
they
sir.
have named us Vishwakarma. Okay.
Because of the creation.
He is the god related to all these trades, all the production trades. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Service
Okay,
trades, all the production
okay,
trades, like blacksmith, goldsmith, and everyone. Mm.
okay, sir.
What is your favorite subject?
Mm, sir, I really like constitution, polity, and I like many subjects, but polity is dearest to me.
Polity is dearest. Just This is the most recent things happening. The bills which are renaming all the laws. Can you
Mm-hmm.
elaborate on that? I'm not going into those things. All the IPC and everything is renamed today. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
talk about them for a few minutes?
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, the IPC, the CRPC, and the CPC are being renamed as Bharat Samhita, and sir, the names are in the Bharat context only. Sir, I think it's not just the nomenclature which is being changed. The real intent and the intention behind changing or bringing those bills, amendment bills, is because so some angles of women sensitivity, some angles of new crime, new forms of crime, and some angles of catering to certain definition which were not existing in earlier all these earlier bills. So, such as terrorism. Terrorism was defined in UPA, but not in the IPC and CRPC. But the punishment for terrorism was in the IPC. So in these laws, terrorism has been catered. The definition of terrorism is being given. So new forms of cyber crimes have been catered to in the new amendment bills. Also, sir, some uh, women sensitive measures and women sensitive definitions has been renamed or it has been nomenclatured, have been changed, especially with respect to domestic violence and cruelty against women. Divorce K9 sections,
Can
all
you
these
can you
have
can you
been.
name those things?
Sir, what?
Name means sensible. They have changed. Examples, please. What are the names? Changed names. And what are
Sir,
the aspects of sensibility?
okay. Sir, like earlier, some definitions such as working woman has been changed into women. Some definitions such as keep or bad character woman has been changed to just woman. So, sir, the adjectives which has been attached to women, either positive or negative, has been changed in such a manner that sensitivity should be provided, uh, because if it all the trials are being done in the court, then the dignity and integrity of the women is being questioned in front of many people. So sensitivity has been
I fear,
taken.
I fear that the answer is a bit wrong because I don't think the names are changed by these bills. It was already Supreme Court has given a big
The
list
guy.
with the changing names. That is not because of these bills. Those words like keep and so those things were replaced by
Yes, sir.
Supreme Court, not through these bills.
Sir, to my limited knowledge, what I can think is that the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature are all connected. So the judicial guidelines given during September or month has been taken into consideration by the parliament while while legislating or amending the bills. So, sir, they have taken into consideration that Supreme Court has already issued those guidelines, and they will make those mindful changes.
But still, that sensibility aspect which they have changed related to gender, I could not get a satisfactory answer. And at the same time, have you heard about the recent comments of Smriti Irani ji? And there is a big
Yes,
uproar against those comments.
yes, sir.
What stand do you have on this aspect?
Sir, as rightly pointed out by the Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, that menstrual is not a handicap. Sir, I agree with it, but I have certain reservations because, sir, menstruation uh, happens to all the women. It is part of the body of women, but the intensity of pain that the women goes during those menstrual cycle differs. Also, sir, a one size fit approach without due deliberations on the legality and the paid leaves legality should not be done, because some sociologists, some women related committees should sit and discuss about this topic, and some questionnaires and some public opinion could come, and then all those women can all the bill can be made in a tailor made fashion, and they could meanwhile they could increase the casual leaves of women from 12 to maybe 14 or 16, to cater to those women who suffer severe intensity of menstrual pains. Also, sir, in my opinion, a alternate solution can be those women who wants menstrual leave can call for work from home culture, so that do not have to travel, and they can work comfortably from their home. Meanwhile, a public consensus about the whole bill, like a parliamentary debate, can be done with the collective consensus for a better law to be implemented.
Though you have started with saying that you agree with the Smriti Irani, you differed with the other aspects.
Sir, I agree with the statement that menstrual is it is not a handicap, because I, being a girl or a woman from belonging from a women community, I very much do all my household chores, my studies, and other activities even during my periods. So I agree that it is not a handicap.
Yeah, fine. So you ask for more deliberations with expert committees and then only decide upon the leaves.
Yes, sir. Meanwhile, I can go for solutions like work from home culture and increasing of casual leaves.
Now forget about these administrative aspects. As a student of sociology for your civil services, tell something about this problem with regard to the society, taboo and all those things, menstrual problems and the society.
So from a sociological point of view, menstrual cycle does have a social taboo, sir, because it begins its origin from the ancient ages, and in between, during the medieval ages and the late after the colonial period. So the real reason that why women were being segregated and put into a room for 4 5 days has been distorted. And the reason, because at that time, so because of lack of technology and hygiene, the women were made to sit in a room to cater to her needs and the pain for 4 5 days, and then come back and start her life chores activities again. But sir, in the meanwhile period, the definition or the real reason, intention behind has been changed, and it has turned into a social taboo and stigmatization, which has ostracized women and this community, and has led to further social inequalities and discriminations, which can be seen in modern forms of families, such as it's been related with religion, that you cannot enter the temple. But sir, no theoretical text or evidence supports this argument. So there are some taboos and there are some interpretations which needs explanation from the society.
You talked about temple entry and this menstrual cycle.
Yes, sir.
There is a serious problem and there was a court judgment and everything. Can you talk something about it?
Sir, similar issue has been seen during the Sabrimala temple entry, where the menstrual women from age between 10 to 55 were not allowed to visit the Ayyappa temple uh, because uh, because they were considered impure during that period or that age. Sir, I think it is a new form of untouchability from a sociological point of view, because uh, we don't know as of now that what is I according to me, sir, God does not discriminate between its worshippers, be it women, children, or men, and the justification given by those the denominations and priest was that he is in a celibacy state. So, sir, there are many other temples in India where gods are being in the celibacy state, but such discrimination is not seen in anywhere around India. So, sir, I think the judgment which was given by the honorable court was um in favor of women, promoting equality and promoting the constitutional ethos along with the societal ethos, and definitely curbing the new untouchability which was being persisted in those society.
What is the final judgment? Allowing the woman to enter temple.
Uh, Sir,
Yeah,
if I have,
no, it is
sir,
true.
it's a,
Minority opinion is supporting the status quo of not allowing the woman. But
yes,
majority
sir.
opinion is in favor of women's entry. Do
Yes,
you
sir.
think it is happening in Shabarimala today?
Sir, in practicality, I don't think it's happening because whatever as Andhra Bete says, the legality of any action cannot be alone taken without public discourse or public societal acceptance. So there is lack of awareness and societal acceptance of the judgment being passed. Until that takes into place, until the society develops those social discourses based on equality and equal opportunity. Uh, I don't think
No, no.
they have accepted
Society
it.
knows about it. Governments know, they knew about, they know the judgment. Everyone knows about this judgment. But where is, where are we failing in implementing it?
Yes, sir.
Did you get my point? Why it is
Yes,
not being implemented? Very straightforward question. Who is responsible for non-implementation of this judgment?
it is the executive and the administrative authorities that is been working in such place. Sir, I think at the administrative and the executive authority can work in different levels. First of all, at local level, they can put up some leaders who such leaders जिनको other people listens to. They can talk with some NGOs and self-help group communities,
You want to say
societies
that
to.
there is no dialogue with public.
So there might be dialogue, but then the dialogue needs to change. The discourse needs to change.
Okay, fine, fine. Let's talk something about films. Do you watch films?
Yes, sir. Sometimes I do.
Do you read?
Right. Sir, not really. Little bit I do.
Why so?
Um, I have not never thought about it, but I don't think it. I
My
don't know, sir.
core
Never.
question is reading. Core question is about the reading habit.
Yes, sir.
Right? Most brilliant students, hardworking students, go to the civil services up to interviews and get into service. But the basic understanding about reading is lacking among the youth. Do you accept my statement? Do you agree to this statement?
Uh, Sir, I agree with your statement partially because when entering into civil services or any exam for that matter, which requires a detailed reading and like in-depth reading, so the students are definitely reading, but the reading is limited to the academic subjects, the humanities subject. Readings such as psychological readings or motivational reading or reading about biographic readings or reading about anything which is not related to the subject is limited because maybe because of lack of time or maybe because of different diverse interests.
Yeah, please continue. Mm.
So sir, the students are reading but the
My understanding about reading is not the academics, not about the examination, civil services. Reading
yes
is
sir.
general reading, reading novels, reading fiction, reading some literature, reading some books related to different topics. Do you think the it is happening today?
Sir, not really, because there are people like me who are not really reading, but there are many people who are reading different subjects, different wider aspects, and also inculcating different hobbies related with it, doing reflexive journaling, or they are reading autobiographies. I have many of my friends who reads even Hindi literature, so I know many people who are reading.
This reading autobiographies, inspiring stories is to do in ethics paper to do better in ethics paper?
Sir, that is a very limited interpretation,
Hmm.
because there are literatures such as Godan,
Hmm.
which talks about life of a person living in a rural area, and how he struggles with the rural society and income generation, and about his family. So that is not really related with ethics. And so ethics is basically a very metaphysical normative subject. Anything and everything can come under ethics.
You refer to Godal. Who is the author of Godal?
Sir, if I can remember, he was Munshi Premchandra.
It is a basic thing. You shouldn't say that, if I remember correctly. You have passed your 10th class with all Hindi literature, something. Without reading Munshi Premchand, you will not pass 10th class. Am I right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
what are the other works of Munshi Premchand? Can you name some?
Sir, other is mm, बड़े घर की बहू.
Hmm.
Sir,
Right. No problem. No issues. Can you
not
name
able to.
some of the literary people in Hindi world, Hindi field, Hindi literature?
Sir, Hindi literature, I can recall one was Sarojini Naidu. She is a very known poet.
Is she in
And
Hindi literature or English literature?
she has written in both.
I don't think so.
So some of the work are in Hindi as well. Like I
Might
have
be
written in
translated ones.
maybe. Sir, there is one.
What is the nationality of Sarojini Naidu? Which nationality does she belong to? His father, her mother tongue?
Sir, I don't know. Sorry,
Bengali.
sir.
Bengali. Aghurnath Chattopadhyay's daughter.
Okay.
Married to Mutyala Govindrajul Naidu, a Telugu guy.
Okay.
Residing in Hyderabad. She resided in Hyderabad. Okay.
Okay.
So she wrote in English poet.
Sir,
Translate
the Naidu surname comes from the Tamil Nadu word, or no? Is it
both. You have Naidus in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana,
okay?
and some Naidus are migrants from this Telugu cultures into Tamil Nadu. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. So apart from those, I'm asking because have you ever heard about Booker Prize?
Yes, sir. I have heard.
What is this? Did you do you know any names who won Booker Prize from India?
Sir, I cannot recall the names of people, but it is given to the people who write eminent writers. Also, sir, I think the last news I was following was one of the people has converted the book in other language.
Hmm.
I
Translate
cannot
but hmm,
translated the
from
book.
India. Hmm. Translated work,
Yes,
but anyway. So, do you travel?
yes, sir. Not really, not very like very much, but I do travel.
You have two big forts in nearby region. Can you
Yes,
name
sir.
those forts and tell something about those forts?
Sir, in Madhya Pradesh, nearby to my region, there is one Raisen Fort. Sir, near to Jhansi, there's one tehsil called Orcha. So there is Jahangir Fort, and sir, also near to Mandu in Madhya Pradesh only, there is Jahaj Mahal Fort. There is Sheesh Mahal Fort, and sir, Orcha, there are some other Bundela Fort is also there.
Yeah. Tell
And
something about Orcha fort. Which
sir, Orcha,
dynasty?
sir, the Chandel dynasty and the yes, sir, Chandel dynasties, and sir, one more was there, Chauhans.
Do you think Chandel started Orcha fort or Bundels?
Sir, Bundelas, sorry, Bundelas,
Hmm.
Bundelas. Yes, sir.
Chandelas did not have Orcha fort by that time.
Chandelas were in the Khajuraho district.
Mm.
Sir, the Bundelas.
Bundelas.
Yes, sir.
So Orcha. So to conclude this
Sir,
interview, yeah, yeah.
there's also one very famous, recently said the Jahangir Orcha Killa is also uh, subscribed for the UNESCO Intangible Heritage Sites. Also, sir, in Orcha there is one very famous temple, the Raja Ram Temple, and it is the only temple in India where Lord Ram is uh, considered or called as a Raja and not as a god.
What is the historicity of that Raja Ram temple? At which period they have started this saying this Raja Ram, and which period the temple was built? Can you tell something?
Sir, the story goes back to around uh, during the ancient times, but the temple was made during 7th to 8th century. But the story goes around during ancient time there was a king, and he brought his queen, and the queen was a big worshipper of Lord Ram. And at that time, because she was a
In,
very
see, you studied ancient Indian history, medieval history, and modern history. If you
yes, sir.
say ancient, I'll definitely ask which ancient, what period? Is it
Uh,
Paleolithic, Neolithic, or early medieval? Sorry, early historic, or what?
Sir, Paleolithic and all though will go very far away. Sir, in ancient history, it was during the Gupta's period
Hmm.
between 500 to 600 BC.
Okay, not BC, AD.
AD, sorry, AD.
Um,
AD.
okay, fine, fine. Let's conclude this interview.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
Okay,
nice.
sir.
We had wide range of discussion, different topics we have discussed in the short span of 45 minutes, 43 minutes to be precise. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
just tell me your impression about this interaction, your performance, and your understanding about the interview.
Um, Sir, I really liked the interaction session because earlier I was being nervous as it was my first interview. So I was developing a little chills, but after talking to you, I am feeling confident. At the same time, there is some introspection that I have done, that I have to prepare more on my DAF topics. I have to come with more concrete answers, and also I have to develop some of the data. For example, the MSME data that we talked about, Japan ka comparison with India. uh, Also, sir, with some information which I was saying that I have to guess, if I'm confident, then I should say it with confidence. And some of the answer I think I can better articulate with more practice. But overall, I'm having a good vibe and good confidence. My confidence is definitely boosted because it after 15th, the after the DAF filling, immediately the dates has come, and I was on way, like I'm still working on my DAF. So also, so some of the information with respect to my state I have to prepare more concretely.
Oh, the first aspect you have to work upon is your answers are too lengthy.
Okay.
All the questions, whatever question I have put, your answer should be more precise.
Okay,
If
sir.
your answers are more lengthy, two things will happen. First is, first is, 5 minutes. First is your answer will your time, the time you are putting in one question will take away the other things. Okay. If you are precise, what will happen? You will have more number of questions so that you can exhibit your skills, you can exhibit your temperament, your aptitude, and everything. That is the most important one. Too lengthy answers. See, listening to the lengthy answer for some time, we will be on track. Then again, we'll lose the track. So, practice to be more precise. See, two principles I tell about economy of thought and economy of words.
Yes, sir.
This economy, you are a commerce student.
Yes, sir.
All your answers are more in to numbers. and it will not be a very, very lengthy explanations.
Yes, sir.
Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Numbers will speak, that equations will speak. That should
Right.
be your type of answers. Then what
Right.
happens? You will have more time for the other questions too. Number one.
Right.
Number two, the most important aspect which is lacking with all the aspirants, I'm generalizing it, is you don't know what exactly about your place, but you have studied lots of things in international relations, everything and all the subjects, and you are not at all worried, or you are not what you call well versed with your surroundings. That is the problem.
Mm.
This will not have a good impact. So you should basically, like Barkatullah,
Yes, sir.
you are there associated with that name for years, and you have
Mm-hmm.
studied Indian history for your civil services. Modern Indian history has Raja Mahendra Pratap, and your provincial Kabul government is there. Then Barkatullah's name is there,
Yes, sir.
is it not?
Yes,
So
sir.
that leaves a bad impression. I'm not discouraging. Actually, I'm telling
Yes,
you
sir.
exactly where you have to work hard.
Yes, sir.
Huh? So these are the two important aspects I want to focus upon. Other things, of course, those things which I try to get through you, like about the agriculture scenario, all those things are generalized statements.
Yes, sir.
Don't want generalized statements. You see the question, answer to that general, answer to that specific question. Otherwise, what will happen? Even for your practically, are you implementing these things in your fields? This is what I asked. You have listed all the things again. With just you have taken the few names also, but you could have been more specific.
Yes, sir.
That too, Madhya Pradesh is not a state of Punjab or what do you call Haryana, where you
Mm.
expect a lot of changes in technology. Green revolution impact is not there. Madhya
Yes,
Pradesh,
sir.
that too, Bundelkhand is a very backward region.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So you should be more specific. Generalizations won't work when a question is put on the specific area. This is
Definitely, sir.
okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the link between the generalization and specific should be understood.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
overall, you are confident, and if you fine tune all these things, definitely you'll do your personality test in a better way. Okay.
Definitely. Okay, sir.
You can have a little bit smile too. You're a bit serious
Okay.
also. Might be because this is the first interview.
Yes, sir.
Might be because this is the first time you're facing these things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that smile and that pleasantness will definitely improve the whole atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, that helps. Okay.
Thank
When
you.
is your interview scheduled?
Sir, it's 17th of January.
January. So practice all these things what I have discussed. If you feel that these
Definitely.
are the basic issues with you.
बिल्कुल सर. Definitely, sir.
जो अब तक आप सोचे हैं, जितने हम कुछ चीज बताए हैं, इसके अलावा भी
Hmm.
कुछ हो सकता है. You have to introspect where to improve, because this 45 minutes interaction, I might get the what you call real aspect or problem with your presentation or positives of
Hmm.
your presentation, but you are the best judge. You can think about yourself where to improve upon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Be confident, and your strength is your background. Really, I would say your background is your strength. If the board is looking at your DAF, and they put proper questions on your DAF, improvise all the things which I have discussed with you, and that will be your positive side. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
your mother's hard work, she has put, okay, and your
Yeah.
agriculture background, humble background
Yes.
from a very backward region.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Yes,
hard
sir.
work you have put all these years for 6 attempts. Definitely
Yes,
this
sir.
will count. Okay.
Definitely, sir. Thank
Okay.
you so much, sir. It was nice talking to you, and thank you so much for boosting my confidence.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.